So today I'm joined by Angelika Lichnerova. Angelika is the Managing Director of Dynamic Conferences and Events, which is a full-service conference and event management company. So welcome, Angelika.
Hello.
Hi, good to see you. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for the invitation.
Great. So look, Angelika, let's start off. Tell us a bit more about Dynamic Conferences and Events.
As you've said, Dynamic Conference and Events is a full service event management company, which basically means that we project manage our events. We take the brief from the client, we do the research, we do contracting, negotiation, budget management, everything a project management involves. And then we accommodate clients on site, or we manage the event on site when it's in-person event, or we do it virtually, and the wrap, so the entire cycle really. Primarily, we focus on what we call residential conferences, which means that our attendees also stay overnight, accommodated for a night, maybe even a week. And during that week, they will have business meetings, networking opportunities, loads of social events. So it's like a full experience really for them.
Okay, sounds fantastic. And
it is.
And Angelika, you're the Managing Director of Dynamic Conferences and Events. How long have you been Managing Director?
For the couple of years.
Couple of years, great. Okay, and what are your primary duties as the Managing Director?
Okay, so it's basically almost everything. You know, when you're running a business which is still in the category of, well, I don't like saying we are small business, because in our attitude we're not. But in terms of the size of the operations, we probably still fall in that category. So as anybody who is running that size of operation, you have to focus on almost everything. One of our major challenges over the last couple of years was introducing a new structure into business and introducing more solid processes into business, which basically means that I, as a managing director, don't have to necessarily focus on everything in great detail, but there is a team which is now a great supporting team for myself. But in reality, I'm a very detailed person, I'm a very focused person, and I like to be involved in almost everything and anything.
Okay, so you like to have your finger on the pulse in terms of what's happening.
It's not in as many details as I used to, maybe when I was purely focusing on operations, because I started as an event manager within Dynamic Events, but it's still kind of overseeing absolutely everything.
Yeah, okay, great. And actually, whilst we're talking about that, because you've been with Dynamic Conferences and Events for what, 15 years plus?
Yeah, it's been my 15th anniversary 3 months ago.
Happy anniversary. So look, and you started as an event manager. So what are the main skills that you've had to develop to become a high-performing managing director? You know, to that change of position that you've had over those years.
Because my background is from project managing, I was never really so much involved in business development and finances. I was involved more on a project level than on the overall company level. As I said, we have an amazing team in place, so I have very skilled people focusing on business development and on finance, but obviously I had to develop my skills to be able to set up a strategy and to have meaningful communications with them. So that was probably my biggest personal challenge. And then I think every single company out there in the world has been recently screaming about the lack of talent. So the other thing was literally about attracting the talent, setting up Dynamic as a very attractive employer, and then training those people up.
Okay, very good. And you mentioned a really interesting thing there that I really sort of support with my clients that I coach, is that you said about attracting the right employees. And I look at recruitment like marketing. You know, as you say, there's a real lack of talent out there, and businesses have to be attractive to employees so that those employees want to work for your business. So what have you done anything in particular to make your business attractive to new employees?
We have put a lot of resources in and a lot of investment into looking how to get people in. For the first time, immediately during pandemic still, we started working with an external consultant who helped us to review our recruitment process. We trained the team into interviewing new future colleagues. But we also created, well, I think we're much clearer now on what the opportunities are internally, and how people can develop their skills and how they can develop their career. So when we say we employ someone as an event assistant, we are actually employing future event managers, and we help them to recognize what the journey will be. We do a very thorough induction training. We do a buddy system. And what is really, really specific for Dynamic, ever since I recall all those 15 years, we've been talking and implementing we've been talking about the line culture. And that's something we picked up from our business coach years ago, when we try to involve people into our major decisions and try to really make sure that, everybody's got like a spike performance and moods. But we just really want to make sure that we support each other and that people take responsibility and accountability for everything they're doing.
Okay, like it. So it's about creating that environment that is conducive to employees developing and that alignment between that and the business goals, and then supporting them through that growth. Okay, very good. And look, you mentioned it there as well about values, and I see from your website that you've got three main values of positivity, creativity, and trust. Why do you see those particular three things as important to your business?
They are all very much linked together. Trust is a huge thing for us and our clients. They trust us with their brands, with their values. They trust us with their attendees, their audience. So for us, it's not just doing a one-off event and just delivering a business meeting or an award dinner. Majority of the clients we work with, we've had them for years. We have a client we've been working with for about 17 or 18 years now. So it is a longevity which is built on that trust. And equally, internally, if the team cannot trust myself, if they can't trust in what the company represents, so that is a huge thing. And then positivity goes back to about the line culture and creativity. Well, we are in an event industry and we have to be creative and bringing new solutions in.
Okay. So you see those three values as important internally, but also really important externally to your clients, to demonstrate those that you're demonstrating those three values to your clients as well.
Both internally and externally has to be connected. If there is a disconnection, it's just not going to work, and nobody's going to really trust you and believe what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay. Like it, and that's how because you said there as well that you work with your clients for a long time. So actually demonstrating those values means that your clients come back to you for repeat business, and I would I be right in saying that also refer you to fellow business owners as well, because they can see that you're demonstrating the values?
Referrals are our major focus. We always ask for referrals. We're not ashamed or scared to ask for referrals from our clients. It is the best way how to be introduced and how to get new business in. And definitely we have a number of clients we work with now which were referred to us, or we were referred to them.
Yeah, no, and I always say to my clients that the best and easiest business to win is repeat business. And then second only to that is then introductions and referrals. So it's really worth focusing on those, as you quite rightly say. And out of interest, Angelika, who is your ideal client? Who are you sort of targeting?
When I was talking about residential conferences, that the really kind of a niche market we started operating within was international networks. And those would be networks that provide B2B professional services to their clients. So whether it is lawyers or financial services. What happened to us during pandemic is that I mean, we've done a lot in terms of marketing and building new skill sets during COVID, but that opened a lot of new doors for us. So now the kind of the net widened, and also in terms of the base of clients, but also in terms of what services we provide. So we work with manufacturers, we work some really big household names. Though primarily, I would say international networks is still where we feel the strongest.
Okay. And Angelika, you mentioned there about the pandemic and COVID. You know, the conference and events industry was significantly impacted by that. You know, what was the impact on your business during and your industry during that time?
The impact on industry was, as you said, huge. A lot of businesses temporarily ceased operations or closed down completely. We lost loads of talent because people decided not to work in event industry anymore. It wasn't giving them enough assurances for futures. The major impact, I think, was the extreme speed in which technology developed. So it enables us to move from in-person into virtual and then hybrid events. I already mentioned the loss of the talent, but it also has the impact now through our own awareness of what impact industry has on our world. And the next challenge that we're facing right now is running sustainable events in a way that is as responsible as it is allowed right now.
Okay, interesting. So, there's a significant impact during the pandemic, but you know, from what you said there, there's also some great learnings as well in terms of how adaptable and how you can change, but then also looking to the future for sustainable events as well. So tell me a little bit more about sustainable events. I'm really interested to learn more about that.
The truth is that event industry is one of the biggest baddies, if I can use that word, when it comes to impact on environment, because people have to travel. There is the energy consumption. Even now when we talk and it's virtual, there is still an impact on the energy consumption. It's creating waste, etc. With everybody being so cautious on what impact our everyday life have on our planet and on our future generations, we really, as an industry, have to find ways how to be more sustainable and more responsible. There's a lot of initiatives out there and a lot of things taking place. I've mentioned it before that even though we are small business, we have this attitude of a large business. Mm-hmm. So we really see ourselves taking a lot of activities. We already EcoVadis certified. We are now going through a process through external consultancy when the entire team is being trained on how to deliver events responsibly. And that's just a start of the journey. You either get on the train now or you just keep running behind it forever.
I like that. So constantly looking forward. That's exactly what I say to my clients, is that we always need to be looking forward, to the future. We can't change the past, but actually we need to look to the future and see what upcoming changes are happening, what's important, and how our industry is going to be affected by that, and even my industry as well. So what aspirations have you currently got for dynamic conferences and events? How do you see the business in the future?
We are we're talking about the growth, and we are kind of on a line of a growth. We've got a very tangible plans in place. We spent the last couple of years building a really strong team. And I mentioned before, it was a bit challenging to get the right talent in. So right now we are building a new set of skill sets. And we are looking into different industries in terms of our widening our client base. We're looking into enhancing more technology and bringing more technology into our events. And then the sustainability is a major thing for us to secure our future.
Okay, I like it. So you're looking to sort of expand into different markets, and also using technology and keeping up with technology and with a focus on sustainability. Very, very good. So so what's been your biggest learning since you've been a managing director, Angelika?
I would say not being afraid of making mistakes.
Okay.
And resilience, that really is something, is that, you know, I am very detailed. I'm very kind of a result focus. So being more adaptable, worry less about change, and just really keep moving forward. That was probably what I would find the strongest learning point across the last couple of years.
Yeah, I like that. The not being afraid to make mistakes and being resilient. I remember having a conversation with Brad Sugars, who's the founder of Action Coach. He set it up about 27 years ago, and he's also a very successful entrepreneur and business owner. And I said to him, Brad, you know, how come you've been so successful? And he said to me, Simon, he said, I've made more mistakes than other people.
I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, and I think, you know, as long as you learn from those mistakes, I think there's also a saying that says, you know, there's no such things as mistakes, just learning opportunities, which I also like as well.
Yeah, we have a lot of young people on team who are graduates, and typically they are very scared of making mistakes because they just take it too personally. So it just takes a bit of experience, a bit of assurance, and a bit of love, maybe, and patting on your, you know, on the back. Just saying that it is okay to make mistakes. You just have to be able to keep going.
Yeah, and it links to what you sort of said earlier, Angelika, about sort of that creating that culture and that environment where actually people are you know, can make mistakes without feeling as though, you know, they've done something wrong. And you know, I remember working with two different organizations. One organization had a philosophy of ask for permission, not forgiveness. So in other words, you had to ask for permission to do anything and everything. Yeah, no, you know, there wasn't an environment of, you know, making your own decisions and acting on your intuition. And the other organization I worked with had a philosophy of don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness. Right. Yeah. So in other words, actually make a decision based on what you think is right at the time. And if it turns out to be the wrong thing, then hold your hands up to it and say, look, you know, I made that decision at the time that I thought was right, and ask for forgiveness. So ask for, you know, the second organization was ask for forgiveness, not permission. Whereas the first one was ask for permission, forgiveness. And there's a lot more leadership around that as well. You know, we had an environment of command and control leadership. But we've moved very much into an era now with leadership of you know, trust and inspire. So it's about, and you use that in, you know, the values that you set down.
I just wanted to say that just brings us back to inspiration and trust.
Yeah, exactly. And the things that you said earlier about positivity, creativity, and trust, which are the, you know, the three key values of dynamic conferences and events. So, and look, Angelika, one final question I
Mhm.
always like to ask people is, if you could go back and speak to an 18-year-old you, what would be the best advice that you would give yourself?
The truth is that my 18 years old me would not listen anyway. Honestly. But I would just say probably the same that I keep telling my younger colleagues on team. And I just would say, just chill and breathe. And, you know, just you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. So yeah, just take things in your stride. You'll work things out. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, Angelika, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today and sharing more about dynamic conferences and events and also about your journey as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you.